any questions before we begin? Basic questions? Yes.
What Vocaloid
Yes, I
software character are we working with today?
What Vocaloid software character will we be looking
Yeah.
at? Well, in past he works with Gumi, Miku, and many others that have been given to her by companies because she works for them. So most of the Vocaloids she has are actually free because she does beta testing and stuff, and that's secret. So the Vocaloid software that we'll be looking at today is more of a general overview and not a specific Vocaloid because there's so many, they're like Pokemon at this point.
I will also mention some Vocaloids that have just been recently released. I'll play some small little demos. I do also plan to premiere, if you haven't seen it already, my newest original song.
I'm gonna make you cry.
No,
No, I'm not joking. Here's some tears.
Are you going to drink them later?
Oh, yeah.
I am also going to record this panel, obviously. So yeah, if you guys want to ask any questions, feel free. I am gonna be posting this on my YouTube. I'll have some business cards after the panel available for those of you who would like one. So once I get everything open up here, we will go ahead and begin.
So, any more questions? Yes.
I follow you on YouTube. I was just wondering, you were developing a software that displays all the voice banks, were you?
Yes, it's called Vocaviewer. It's almost done, and because the Vocaloids keep coming out. So, yes, I am making that software. And yes, it is almost done, I promise. And it's great for people who haven't purchased voice banks yet because there's a little sample button. You can listen to the donor.
Question to my tech people: will this plug allow us to also play audio?
Did you plug in the audio?
I don't know where the audio thing is.
There was another question. Yes.
Are there any differences between each of the characters, like as far as interface is concerned? Or are they literally just...
That depends. There's 3 Vocaloid engines. Vocaloid 1, Vocaloid 2, Vocaloid 3. Vocaloid 2 and 3 are pretty much interchangeable. Vocaloid 2 voice banks, like any voice bank you have in Vocaloid 2, can be imported into Vocaloid 3. However, the same does not apply to Vocaloid 1.
Prepare your ears, guys. This could be loud.
Vocaloid 1 has a far different interface than Vocaloid 2 and 3, while Vocaloid 2 and 3 are similar enough that you can switch between one and the others and everything's fine. Vocaloid 1, however, I have no idea what they were thinking with that. Very nice to have do with like Kaito. Kaito, Meiko. Kaito and Meiko, anyone know them?
Yeah.
They're on Vocaloid 1. Well, they were on Vocaloid 1.
Word.
I know it. So yeah, there's that. Any other questions? Purchase questions? Yes.
How much does the software cost?
So, for Vocaloid 1, all of those vocals have been retired. So if you want to get like a hands-on copy, they have gotten very expensive. Like, why would you want that anyway? They're outdated. Vocaloid 2 is less expensive because Vocaloid 3's out. And you've got like, but then you got Miku. Miku's like mad expensive. But then her V3 update came out and that's mad expensive. So if you really want to get the best deal, you want to get the Vocaloid 3 editor with the voice thing included, and that like saves you like $100. Base price though, you're looking at $100 to $200. It's expensive software, people. That's a lot of money.
I'm not going to worry too much about. I brought my microphone, but it doesn't appear to be working. I just wanted to record it with better audio for the sake of you guys online. So since I can't do that, I'll go ahead and get started here. Woo! Planty, while I start, I want to just disassemble this piece. Disassemble it. Just yeah.
Disassemble.
All right, so we will go ahead and get started. All right, as Caleb said before, also known as me, I am Empath E, also known as Aki Glancy. I am arguably one of the more well-known American producers, just because, again, there's not very many of us. I have been I have been composing since 2010. I'm also the artist of the official English language Vocaloid, Ivana. I did her design. There was going to be an Ivana cosplayer, but she got stuck in traffic. She will be here later, though. I've created demos for more Vocaloids than I can even really remember now. There's been Kaito V3 did English demos, Miku English, a Vocaloid who some of you have flyers for, Yokioloid. Also, the new Spanish Vocaloid, Micah, I did demos for her. I'm hearing cheers, so I like that. I'm also an associate producer and illustrator for the concert groups Anna Miku and Synthesize Reality Productions. I did their mascots, and I do music with them. I want to go ahead and get right into what Vocaloid is. Vocaloid synthetic vocal software developed and licensed by Yamaha. The principle of this software is to allow users to create synthetic vocals and to be used in any and all types of music, really. You can just find any style of music that you like, you will find it. It allows the people who use it to use a voice that they really like, but again, in any style of music. For instance, if you were able to control, let's say, Adele's voice, and you really like her voice, but you don't like the style of music. Let's say you wanted her to sing heavy metal music, of all things. You can do that with Vocaloid. It's just the way it can be adapted to different things is incredible. Since its creation, Vocaloid has gone through 3 generations. The current generation of Vocaloid is called V3. It's the first time that the Vocaloid engine has been made separate for purchase from the actual Vocaloid voices, which are known as Vocaloid 3 libraries. There's also a vast number of products that are involved in the subculture of Vocaloid, directly linked to the various mascots. As you can see, we have some Miku, we have some Gumi, we have a Big Al here, we have Rolling Girl Miku, which I'm very excited to see.
Oh, I think it actually hurt. Never mind.
And that, I will talk more about that later about the subculture of Vocaloid, but basically, you guys are a wonderful example of that subculture with cosplay and just showing up and loving the music. Vocaloid 1 was the humble beginnings. The most common misconception is that Vocaloid Hatsune Miku is the very first Vocaloid ever created. A lot of people assume that. It's not true. The first ever commercial Vocaloids were developed by a company located in the UK known as Zero G. Zero G developed male and female counterpart Vocaloids called Leon and Lola. They were both released in 2004 under the monikers Virtual Vocalist, modeled on professional singers. And they did very well when they first started out. Zero G was also responsible for the 3rd ever Vocaloid to be released commercially, known as Miriam. And it wasn't until the end of 2004 that Vocaloid software development moved to Japan. When it did move to Japan, Krypton Future Media Incorporated was responsible for the first commercial Japanese language Vocaloids. Their first Vocaloid, Mako, which actually currently has just undergone a V3 upgrade.
Sweet.
And you will see more of that towards after we get some more information.
Awesome.
She was a huge success, and then 2 years later, the company released a male Vocaloid, Kaito, to be a counterpart to Mako, the same as Zero G's Leon and Lola. You guys on that?
Yeah. So the Vocaloid 1 engine actually was not, like many people think this, but it wasn't made in Japan or in England or anywhere else. It's actually started in a really weird place. It started in the University of Barcelona in Spain. That was where Vocaloid started. It can only say vowels, and then Yamaha was like, "This is mine now. This is the one."
If I remember correctly, Yamaha created it in conjunction with the university.
Yeah, but they didn't have any proprietary rights, and they're like, "This is ours." Yeah. But the university does now make the Bruno, Clara, and Micah, the Spanish Vocaloids, Ultra Labs. That's them. That's why they sound so awesome, because they were the first. Not first, but okay, continue.
All right. So moving on to Vocaloid 2, I call it the birth of an international idol. In 2007, the first ever Vocaloid 2 Vocaloid was released to the public. Again, this was not Miku Hatsune. It was an English-capable Vocaloid known as Sweet Anne, who was developed by Yamaha and a new company called PowerFX. PowerFX would later go on to make Big Al, who we have the Big Al cosplayer sitting right here. Later in 2007, the first Japanese Vocaloid 2 Vocaloid, did I write that right? Japanese Vocaloid 2 Vocaloid. Okay, yeah, sorry. I thought I mistyped. Again, created by Krypton Future Media Inc. was released. This software was known as Hatsune Miku, and she sparked not only a turning point in the sales of Vocaloid as far as what the software was, but also is credited for creating the subculture I mentioned of Vocaloid, which is centered around the idea of a character rather than just a synthetic voice.
Another thing to mention is that even though Mako was a commercial success, Kaito failed in his first year of sales. He only sold less than 1,000 units, but Big Sister Miku came in and she was like, let's buff out those scratches. And he ended up being one of the highest selling products because he was getting attached to Miku. Because, you know, you can't have Miku without Kaito, right? But it used to be you can't have Kaito at all because he's that product.
And Kaito was, Kaito, Mako, and Miriam, I would like to add, were really innovative when they first came out because they were based off actual singers' voices. Leon and Lola, I believe, were as well.
They were meant to be soul singers, but their voice actors were never revealed, so it will always be a secret.
It will always be a mystery.
Big Al's breaths, though.
Yes.
Yes.
There's, in the Vocaloid program, you can make them breathe. And normally it's just like normal sounds, like that normal sounds, but Big Al's are like, and part of me, they're just like the weirdest thing, because you know, like a totally serious song, and they put like the breathing symbol, and it goes like,
That's part of why we like him, though, is because he is so unique, just among his voices.
it's a covert pervert.
Vocaloid 2 also saw the rise of many new companies that invested in the creation of new Vocaloid technologies, such as Internet Co., B-Plats, Age Software, and several others. Each company brought forth different styles of voices and character images, and kind of helped build into the subculture. Again, I will touch a little bit more on that in just a minute. Vocaloid 3 is where it's currently at. It's the current version of Vocaloid that is available. In 2011, Yamaha presented the newest installment of the Vocaloid engine called V3. And for the first time in Vocaloid history, the Vocaloid processing engine and Vocaloid voices, again, they're called libraries, could be purchased separately. V3 also allowed users to import the voices from the Vocaloid 2 engine into V3. And for many of these, the difference within the two engine, how they work with the voice, how the voice can be tuned, it really improved some of the editing capabilities. For some others, it presented new problems, but by that point, people knew what they were doing. V3 also brought about the birth of an all-new language capabilities that had never been seen before. Vocaloid, until that point, had only been available in English and Japanese. But now, however, there are Vocaloids capable of singing English, Japanese, Spanish, Korean, and Chinese. And currently, they're trying to create a French Vocaloid.
And this is talking about Micah for a second.
Yes.
Micah, the one you see up there, one of the most recent ones, her main language is Spanish. But her creator was like, you know what? Screw single language. Let's like throw extra sounds in there. So she can speak English, Spanish, Japanese, Catalan. Don't even know what Catalan is. It's Portuguese. She can speak like all these languages. And she was advertised in so many languages. Look at that design! It's so pretty!
I should add in regards to that, Vocaloid has always been about the capabilities of the producer, the person using the Vocaloid, rather than just, plug and chug, I like to call somebody just typing in lyrics and just typing in a melody and hoping for the best. Basically, any Vocaloid is capable of singing any language that you want to take the time to sing. However, Micah has been, in my opinion, very instrumental in the V3 collection, I guess you could say, of voices that just, the potential for language capabilities is fantastic. Now, yes, she will have a Spanish accent, but I personally, as a producer who likes new, unique sounding voices, find it incredibly charming. And I like it a lot, separates her from others.
The little ball thing next to her is called Nova. Didn't that start another trend? Like now there's like lots of Vocaloid, Greek Vocaloids have a little pet that comes with them. Like Oliver has a little bird, Vocaloid has that QB thing, yeah, James QB thing, and then
I didn't know there was so many.
But Micah has a little ball.
I only know
little
like
sound,
maybe
the first
9.
Vocaloid had a little leap thing.
8 to 10 of them.
I'd like to talk about Vocaloid and alternate media, and here's also where I'll talk about the subculture. The subculture stems from the producers. Without the producers, people like me and Planty, you would not have the music, you would not have the music videos that you guys love. We are responsible for the majority of it. Yes, Sega did come in later to do the concerts, but a lot of the concerts and visuals that you see, implemented within it were created by producers. Without the producers, there is no Vocaloid subculture. And a lot of times we are just forgotten. Which, in the end, it's not necessarily about us. It's about what we love to show you guys with Vocaloid. for instance, you know, a lot of people will listen to my songs, but they won't know who I am.
Yeah, sorry. What we want you to realize is everything you listen to and everything you see, there's a real person
Behind it. It's not just a computer program.
And,
There's
like,
a person and a whole
Aki and I have spent literally hours of our lives doing this stuff. And we don't care, we love it. But there's a large amount of people who believe Vocaloid is a self-contained thing, when really it is whatever you want it to be. And as long as you have the power and you have the imagination to do whatever you want to do with the software, there is no limit. And the best part of Vocaloid is, as we've talked before, if you can't sing, if you can't express your feelings openly, if you can't do anything like that, Vocaloid lets you do that. It lets you speak your mind, it lets you say things you can normally never say. And it also it lets you express yourself in ways that have never been possible before.
That's
Revolutionary.
That's basically what I would have said. All right, but let's talk about some instances of this subculture. Vocaloid has branched out into more than just music and concerts, of course. Recently, a fully virtual Vocaloid opera starring Katsucon XX was produced, and it's called The End. I do have a clip of a preview of it for you. It was an opera in which there was no human interaction at all. It was all completely digital and virtual music and vocals and vision. They had a projection screen similar to concerts in which they had these incredible visuals, and it also had a very interesting collaboration with Louis Vuitton, who did the costumes that Miku wore for the opera. Vocaloid attractions have started becoming popular in certain theme parks in Japan and in galleries and all sorts of things. There's Vocaloid cafes, there's Vocaloid little, I swear I did not dream this. I swear I saw on YouTube a video clip of like a Taco Luca like spinny cup ride. I might be wrong. Maybe it was just Taco Luca being advertised around the cup ride.
No, it exists. I know what you're talking about. It's
Okay,
there.
I wasn't, so I'm not crazy.
It's there and it is real.
There's life-size figurines. There's again galleries, just numerous things. Sega also, again, I mentioned them before. They are currently licensed to do Krypton Future Media's concerts. They do the video games, the Project Diva video games. And there's Project Diva, Project Diva Second, Project Diva Second Extend, Project Mirai, Project Diva F, and Project Diva capital F. And soon there's going to be a Project Diva capital F Second.
Project Diva Superstar.
Oh, and there's Project Diva Mirai 2 as well.
Project Diva 2 Electric Boogaloo.
And these video games, again, consist of not only music, but the more recent games have incorporated the fan media, the stuff that you see from the original music videos, and that's very exciting. Vocaloid concerts, as you know, in general, I mentioned that they were done by Sega. One of the biggest instances, or to me, one of the most groundbreaking instances of a Vocaloid concert took place in California at the Convention Anime Expo, in which there was the first Sega Vocaloid concert in America. It was called Miku. I say Mikunopolis, but they type it like that. So it's like
Mikunopolis.
So I'm like,
Polio.
I think it's supposed to be Mikunopolis.
Polio.
It's I don't know. I don't question it. I just talk about it. And it was incredible because again, first time a Sega concert happened, and the show was sold out very quickly, like 2 weeks.
I tried to get a ticket.
It didn't happen.
My heart, it just.
In addition to these concerts, you also have the concert groups that are affiliated with the companies and do fan-produced concerts, of which I am a part of. We're actually doing a concert at Comic-Con. Today's Friday, so tomorrow there's going to be a concert at Comic-Con. Don't try to go, stay here because I love you. But please look us up. Synthesized Reality Productions and Animiku, we do concerts. And what's great about us is that we're able to bring forth Vocaloids that you never normally would have seen in concert. The Sega concerts are all Krypton Future Media Vocaloids, which there's nothing wrong with but a lot of,
When is my baby gonna, when is Miki gonna get some spotlight time? No, it's
Well-
always Miku.
well, Miki, I'm not gonna go into, there's a bunch of, I'm not gonna go into that. I love
A
Miki.
whole
but
bunch
she
of
has
them. Oh my gosh.
Crazy licensing. The thing about it is that, for instance, at this next concert, we're gonna have Micah and Tianyi. I'm sorry if I didn't butcher that name. I was told it's Tianyi.
You know what? You're right.
Tianyi is the Chinese Vocaloid. Micah, of course, we showed her earlier, is the new Spanish Vocaloid, and they are both gonna be in this next concert, and I'm very, very excited.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I had some footage, but I don't really have any. I didn't get to download the footage that we normally would show as part of our video for our concert. But we render it all ourselves. We all animate it ourselves. We work with the producers to make songs. It's a lot of fun. I'm probably going to stop it at this and then play some of the fun clips I have for you. But for those of you who cannot afford Vocaloid, there's an excellent alternative called Vocaloid. It's completely free. All the voices are free with some exceptions. And for those of you who can't afford it, you can find it online. If you just simply type Vocaloid vocal program, you'll be able to find it. And it was released in 2008, the year after Hatsune Miku. And the most popular Vocaloid is right here. Her name is Saneteto. And she was made as an April Fool's joke by Vocaloid's Vicar, who made her as an April Fool's joke, advertising her as the next Vocaloid, and of course she wasn't. However, she was so popular that they made her an original Vocaloid voice. And she's so popular that you can even get downloadable content for some of the Project Diva games and have her little mascot dancing the songs. It's a lot of fun.
Also to mention, Utao, like, Vocaloid has no limits, like, creatively. Utao has no limits vocally. Like, there is no line. You could, like, I remember there's this one Utao called Tree. It took a mic, walked outside, held it up to a tree. And then they came back, and they programmed that to Utao voice. And they were like,
It's gorgeous.
done. And they did it to another tree, and they called it Urt. Just never, and it's like, it's the icon is like a really badly drawn in as paint tree. And, yeah.
That's the thing, is that with Utao, you can take recordings of your own voice and make them into a voice bank.
You know that the recording is kind of hard, it literally sounds like.
Yeah, you basically record sounds like ka, ki, ku, ke, ko,
And sometimes why.
or again, people have done it in other languages. There's all sorts of
Chinese, French, Russian, Mandarin.
Korean.
Wait, no. Those last two are the same. Oh, wait, no, it's first one. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna leave it off there because again, we're pressed for time. We started a little bit late, and I would like to show these clips before I open up
Do some fun stuff.
for some questions.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to play for you is again the video clip of the opera.
Just letting you know, this opera is like.
Free tomorrow.
It's
Messed up.
It's artistic.
Yeah, okay, so it's like some Fisher Price toys and you turn them into a thing of the artistic, but this is like